Well, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Dave. This fine
Good morning.
September 10th, Tuesday, in the amazing Tradingology trading room.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Do you got me?
I can now.
All right.
Not sure what happened there, but all right. I'm good. How's everybody doing?
It's a fun morning over here. I don't know about the rest of you guys.
I almost called you Daniel. Is that your full name? Is your name Daniel?
Only when I'm in trouble.
Yeah, it's like my mother. She used to call me David James, and that's when I knew I was in trouble. She used my middle name.
Right.
Mm.
Good morning, Greg. Good morning, Mike.
Hey, guys. What's up?
Andre, good to see you. All kinds of good stuff this morning to report. How are you guys doing?
Oh, yeah. Very, very excited. Lots of nice, interesting. Andre, good morning. A couple updates. One I missed on Tuesday that we'll talk about too. But I'll let Dan get into it as soon as we give a few minutes for everybody to roll in. Pretty exciting stuff though going on though. I think I just feel like there's an air of excitement. It's like something's going on. Something's going on with the markets, with crypto, with just interesting stuff.
Absolutely. Then just taking use of the tools and strategies and coming out on top is always a nice morning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Andre says he sees something new, price signals. Well, it shouldn't be new to you unless you've been hiding for a little bit.
Yeah, those are relatively new, but I mean, it's been about
A couple weeks.
Yeah, a few weeks now.
It came out when I was on vacation, so maybe you missed it when I missed it. Then I'm getting back up to speed, Andre. So it's the first time you've seen me use them, so that could be new then.
Yep, and Renko tick chart. I don't know if you got the regular Renko or the tick chart. Renko.
I got both cooking for you.
Got both of them going. Beautiful. Yeah, I love those. Oh man, I just absolutely love it. I've been crushing it with the combination of the Renko tick chart and the price signals, the strong markets price signals, crushing the day trading. I mean, it's almost like I used to trade 9:30 to 11:30, and that was about it because I knew that portion of the market. Now I can walk away. I go grab some lunch. I come back. I can trade any time of the day or night with those.
Yep, exactly. That's why I got all these screens going too. I'm like, I got one with the Renko, I got one with the regular 10 minutes, I got one in the long term for swings.
Yep.
It's beautiful. Yeah, Greg's up $8.87 for the day. Awesome, Greg.
$887, not $8.87. $887. Nice.
Yeah, he's talking the VA trade. So yeah, we had the TSA came out. Perfect setup for a continuation on the long today. And yeah, look at that.
Yesterday and today, the setup was pretty clear. We're going long. It was a nice swing trade. I got into the YMNQ long yesterday. Just really, really good trade overall. And we're seeing the follow through today.
Yep, I was talking to a private client last week on Friday. I said, we're coming close. I said, Friday might be early for a long, but it ended up working out really good. But the confirmation was on Monday.
Yep.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Nice 3 days in a row there. It's the daily chart.
Yep, absolutely perfect. Good, Greg. Excellent on you.
Yeah, well done, man. Regular contracts. Yep, that's how you start out wherever you're comfortable is the biggest thing there, right? So if you're got the risk appetite for the fulls and the capital, absolutely. If you're learning it, start with the micros.
Absolutely. So the Renko tick charts are a little bit different because they can be used on the tick chart without updating. It's the formula is just a little bit different. The algorithm we used for the regular Renko can be used on longer time frames and things like that. But the Renko tick chart is specifically for tick charts. So he's got it up there on the NQ, RTY. It looks like you got it on all of them there.
Yep.
And so it's specifically the formula in the algorithm was tweaked a little bit just so it could be used on tick charts. There's a lot of indicators that can't be used on tick charts, but we had a request from one of our clients for tick chart indicators, so that's what we did there. So if you look at the algorithms, they're just a little bit different. I guess the main difference is that when you're in a short position, you want to stay below the Renko, and so like on the NQ, like you take a look at the NQ on there, you can see where it hit a peak just to the left there, just to the left. Let's start with the left one. Yep, and then we went underneath the cloud, and as soon as we got underneath the cloud, there was a signal of and we came back up to the top of that right there. And it didn't hold. Now it's turning red. We want to stay in the short position for as long as possible, and as long as that price stays underneath that red cloud, we're good to go. As soon as it starts to trade above that, then you're out. Right there. Yep, exactly. So you want to use that as a almost like a moving average for price action. And you want to stay in as long as it's above that cloud and get out as soon as it starts dropping below it. On the short side and long sides. Got the tick charts? Haven't used them yet? Oh, Greg, you got to fire those up. You're going to love them. In fact, I saw I forgot who it was from, but there was a message you received from one of the new VA guys mentioning the Renko charts, and he said it just completely opened his eyes to the market.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think I remember seeing that one too. And yeah, he's just crushing it too. Now he's got this under his belt.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
And you can watch them at the same time. If you have the monitor space, or you just, you don't have to watch all four. I just like to watch all four to see where it's going on. I don't trade all four typically at the same time, unless I'm not going to be doing a trading room and I have more focus. But I'll just pick one of these indicators. So this way I can see, hey, who's got the good opportunity? So I can be watching all four, who's getting above if I'm biased for the downside, since we are down today. When I see somebody get above the Renko cloud on any of the four, I usually don't trade the RTY, but sometimes I keep my eye on it. But one of these three majors, I'll take a short on them. I was actually short MESs and MNQs right before, and I was going to let it ride. I'm like, nope, I'm going to take my profits off before this call starts. So I actually closed it out perfectly down here.
Nice. Awesome.
So yeah, you can watch those at the same time you're watching the regular ones. So you can be like, that's the difference in the tick chart versus the regular 10-minute chart, is you're getting all the exact, in-betweens, the price action of each bar. Because if you're just watching them, you'll see these levels move up and down, right? And that's the difference in the tick chart, is you see that movement within the bar. Even within like the 1 minute, you'll see them counting up here. I got it on 500. So you'll see how many are remaining in this bar is what this is telling me. So that's the difference in playing tick charts.
Yeah, I like the tick charts for short-term trading. And if you go over to the MYM or any of the micro E-minis, you're going to want to change that 500 ticks down to 250. They don't have quite the number of transactions yet to match the full contracts.
True.
Greg says that he put it on CL yesterday with the swing Renko swing chart. So he's got the full package there, the big package of the swing system, the swing system, and it would have been an $800 to $1,000 play on CL.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
Yes.
You got the nerves. If you're young, you can do CL.
Yeah, that's for sure, man. I used to trade CL. I used to trade nat gas. Oh man, that thing would move. I remember one day I was trading nat gas, and the nat gas supply was announced, and I think I was down $8,000, and then I was up 12. I mean, it was within seconds. It was insane.
Andre wants to know how to get the package. It is a package that Strong Market came out with, that the market teamer does.
Yeah, so I'll throw a link in there. And so you're interested in the tick charts or this full swing system, Andre?
I think he's talking the latest and greatest ones with the price signals. And
gotcha.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Andre.
The tick charts then.
He's got the swing package. So yeah, he just needs the brand new one that was nicely super discounted for everyone.
Yeah, and that's it. Somebody asked me for an addition. Somebody asked for additional discounts on these. Unfortunately, I mean, most of our scripts, as you guys know, are like $1,000, $2,000, and this one is $50, and we can't discount it any further. I mean, we got staff to pay. So.
And just to show you on my last,
that's as cheap as we can get.
well, $50 is ridiculous. Yeah, you can make that in no time. I'll pull up. I have it on the weekly too, so let me show you that, so you know everything that's in there, Andre.
Yep, you can. You can do it on the longer term charts as well. It's just a little bit different than the regular swing. So this is an additional $50 besides the swing package. It's not included in the swing package. It's specifically for the the tick charts, but you can also use them for swing trading. Greg says, love the Renko charts. Yeah, those are really cool. I love them too. I just think they're fantastic. And we'll go through some news actually, which will get everybody pretty excited. But I know, Dan, you wanted to go over a couple of things. Do you want to go ahead and get into that, or do you want me to go through my items?
Yeah, let me hit the last one here. So Andre and everyone else that has not seen this yet, this is the weeklies on the exact same 4 indexes with the swing signals for the weekly specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And here's where it takes out the bars, but you just get the arrows because we're doing weeklies. And you see when we get below the cloud, 3 weeks ago when we get an up signal, there's a nice YM move from 25.5 up to 27,000. So that's a 2,500 point move or 1,500 point move. So that's how you could play these. So these we don't get the bars, just the arrows on the weeklies for your long-term swing trading. So a way you can leverage micros, minis, all the different things. You could, if you want to do it with options. I know you guys keep trading your options. I don't know why you want to pay more taxes, but
yeah, and the spread. I mean, there's a lot of hidden costs in trading options, but if it works for you,
yeah, if you want to do it, yeah, you can absolutely use it. If you want to take long positions on the major indexes, go for it. This would absolutely work.
Yeah, Andre, with the tick charts, we don't use the synth volume or the MTOSC. The market timer oscillator uses internal market data, so it won't work on a tick chart. No, the combination of the Renko tick charts and the price signals. Here's the difference. If you look at so you don't get confused, the Renko tick charts with the price signals is designated as SM. So in the beginning, you see the title of the algorithms is SM, the scripts, which is strong market price signals and strong market tick charts. All the other scripts are designated MT as a prefix to the title of the script, so you don't confuse those two. But options, yeah, I mean, it's kind of up to you. And actually, one of the reasons why these new charts were developed, number one, was we had a request for using them on tick charts, but the other request that we had was to find a system for the VXX. And I don't know if you guys trade the VXX or not, but that has some unique characteristics that because what happens is it follows volatility. So VXX will jump up higher as volatility increases, but then there's this period where it just kind of drops down very, very slowly over time as volatility is taken out of the market. And when that happens, you've got a pretty interesting dynamic. If you can kind of get an idea when the VXX is going to pop, you get in on a long, and they have very, very liquid options, both calls and puts. So, I mean, and it's great for selling options. I mean, if you wanted to get into a position where you're selling put options on the VXX just as it's ready to pop, that's pretty cool. Just an idea. You guys got to look into it yourself, but it's really, really nice. Andrew is in the room.
Hey, good morning, Andrew.
Good morning, Andrew. I'm going to talk about Andrew a little bit here. In a few minutes. He did some fantastic work last night. Must have been up late because think I got a text from him. Like, I don't know. I was already asleep when he texted me. He said, "Look in your email box." Every time he says that, I know I got goodies on the way. Greg says VXX usually spikes up when there's a scare in the market. Absolutely. It's probably up today. YM's down 100 points. Getting a little push down in the markets. Do you have the dashboard up there from Strong Market Dashboard?
I absolutely can.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't want to cut you off. Are you good on what you were talking about there?
Yeah, the only part that I wanted to possibly cover quick was I had a few people asking about differences between the old and the new spreadsheet, if we wanted to touch on that quick or not.
Okay, let's. Why don't we get into some new stuff, and then we'll do that right at the end here, because I do have some comments about that I'd like to spend a little time on. But yeah, if you could bring up the dashboard, there's a new indicator in the dashboard. Strong market, and that is called the X factor.
Just put my new password in, it's coming right up.
Oh yeah, the password changed for the dashboard too, guys, if you haven't seen it. You can get the new password for the dashboard in the client portal. There we go. So down in the bottom left-hand corner, oh, by the way, thank you for your email, Dan.
Did you go the right way?
Yeah, I think we're going the right way, yes. Left is bullish, right is bearish, yes. The X factor is a new indicator. What it does is really, it's kind of interesting. We've been testing it out for a while. And what happens is when it's at the -3 level, that is an oversold condition, and we're going to get a bounce in the market. And so that was on 8.5 and 8.6, and on the chart, the market went up pretty significantly on 8.5 and 8.6. I don't think those dates are on there, but you can.
I think I can pull them up on a different one. 8.5 and 6.
Yeah, right in there. So we got a little bounce right there as we got that -3, which is an oversold condition on the X factor. And then it goes to +3 when we're oversold. And that's what happened over the last couple of days. We've been at +3. About 4 out of the last 6 days. And so yesterday we hit +3 again, and we knew at that point we're probably going to get a good decline today. And that's exactly what's happening. So keep an eye on that indicator. For you guys who have the spreadsheet access, that is now a new column in the spreadsheet on the Dow and S&P. What we've been following it for quite a while, though. It's almost the timing is absolutely beautiful. When it's at +3, especially for 2 to 3 days in a row, man, that's a good indication we're overbought. When it's -3 for a day or two, we know it's oversold, and we're going to get a bounce. All right, that's it for that. Next thing is, if you go back to the charts again, and if you have a window, clean window, you can detach there. David L. sent me this. I believe it was David L. And he did this. He sent this to me while you were on vacation. I was not aware of it. I had always, and he goes, "Hey, did you see these symbols? It's kind of a cool way to bring up the advanced decline line." And I said, "Oh no, okay." But I've always used the symbols $ADVN minus $DECN for the advanced decline. But you now can put in a single symbol, which is $ADD.
You just need one window or 4?
Just one.
All right.
Well, no, 2 windows. I'm sorry, 2 windows. So now you got ADD. Yep, that's it. So it's the difference between the advanced decline. You got to double click on the right bar there. Yeah, double click on that. There you go. So now you got one symbol. Now the advantage to doing this, rather than putting in the minus sign between the advancing and declining issues, is that now you can put a Renko chart on there. And the price signals work on it as well. If you use the old formula that we've been using, the ADVN minus the DECN, you couldn't use any indicators on it. Use the tick one. Use the SM tick one. I think that would probably work better. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now it's going to carry over because you have the, what it does is it aggregates the data from the previous day. You could put it on overnight, so you can include the show extended hours. I'm not sure if that's going to work as well or not, but
I was going to say it's probably not even trading, so there's going to be nothing there.
yeah, it's not trading, but it does give you an extra
1 bar.
1 bar, yeah. So, but during the day, it's fantastic. Like yesterday afternoon, you had this, you had the uptick on the ADD. Now the other symbol for the volume is $VOLD, and that is the up down volume. And again, the price signals work on that, because what it does is the price signals pick up the bars. So you want to see what the bars are for that day. And so you can do the exact same thing. You can see, like yesterday on the ADD, you have the, in the middle of the day there, you had that decline with the price signals, and you saw that the ADD was declining. And today looks like we got some positive volume coming into the market, and we're starting to rally a little bit.
Look at that after hours.
Yeah. See, those are all the trades that are settled after hours. There's a lot of market on close orders. So that volume comes streaming into the volume comes streaming in, and then you don't really, it's not settled until actually after the market closes.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So really, really nice, because now you got the single symbols. You can add the tick charts. You can add the price signals for just those two symbols, where you couldn't before. All righty. And then finally, I turned you on to TradingView.
I did, or you did.
Did you check it out?
Yeah, I was noticing it wasn't the same ones that for crypto users and whatnot, but yeah, absolutely. I can pull up their site over here.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen TradingView yet, you can go to the chart tab there, over to the right there, and basically what you can do is TradingView is an incredibly versatile package of not only charts but of indicators, and you can put in your own watch list. You can do, the nice thing about it is you can do cryptocurrencies, you can do stocks, you can do foreign currency. So USD JPY is in there. You've got gold, you've got commodities, you've got just about any kind of symbol that you want possibly to follow. And so you got a broad spectrum of financial instruments that you can follow, and you can track, and it's a wonderful package. Now they do have, and this is where I'm going to bring up Andrew and I have been talking, and we said, well, a lot of people, especially in the cryptocurrency space, are now using TradingView for signals and to track prices and things like that. So we are translating, Andrew is, not me, but Andrew is translating all of our indicators for use on TradingView. So pretty soon you're going to be able to use them on TradingView, which is absolutely fantastic, because I love TradingView. I like it more than TOS. I like it more than any of Tradovite. I like it more than just about anything. I like it better than NinjaTrader. I like it better than almost any kind of charting package that was out there, and it reminds me very much of the profit charts that used to be on TOS. But this is much, much better overall for viewing not only indicators, but the charts themselves. Yeah, I like the dark one myself.
There, I had to switch that.
Yep, I like the dark one myself, absolutely. So Andrew is in the process now of converting a lot of the scripts over to the Pine editor, which is their native language. and he sent me some goodies this morning to test out, which I'm going to do. And one of the goodies is the Renko chart.
So Dave,
Mm,
TradingView.com is available to everybody in the globe, correct?
absolutely.
And we don't have any country stipulations about TradingView access and be able to use it, correct?
Correct.
So think about what this means for all of our Australian clients that can't get tossed, all of our Canadian friends that can't get tossed. This is fantastic.
Absolutely. That's why I'm so excited, because you don't need TOS anymore to be able to use all of the signals and indicators that we came up with.
What do you guys think of that?
Awesome. Yes. I always felt bad for the guys in Australia and Germany and China and Singapore, and I mean all these different places that can't use TOS. And this is going to be their salvation.
Are they real time? Greg, that's a good question. Is there a charge for real time or?
Nope, it's still real time, but you are limited. There's certain limitations, but it is real time. It is real time, absolutely. Yep, even on the free account, you can upgrade to $14.99 a month for the pro. The only thing that does is eliminate the ads. So what'll happen is you
delayed. Is there something I have to enable? I haven't played enough with it.
You know what? I think crypto is. You know what? Cryptos may be real time. Maybe some of them. I don't use it typically for the YM contract.
Okay. I switched it over to YM September.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So I think when they get charged for a data feed, see that's So yeah, when they get charged for a data feed, you have to upgrade to a pro account, but it's $14.99 a month, I believe.
Oh, that's
cheap. Yeah, it's very, very cheap.
That's less than Netflix.
yeah. With the add-ons, it's definitely cheaper than Netflix. Absolutely. Asham, yeah, great. Oh, thank you very much, Asham. Appreciate that. Jace has moved on. It's top secret at this point, but he's still in transition, so he doesn't want to make any announcements or anything. But yeah, I had to kind of step in. I'm probably just in.
We'll leave it for later.
Yeah, it may be an intern. It may be just kind of temporary position, but I'm hoping.
Andrew says put on the Renko cloud to see how it works. You want Dave to take over on TradingView? I don't have anything in TradingView yet, Andrew.
Yeah, I could take over. Sure. I've got it on my Renko chart here. Go to the desktop. There it is. That's on. So this is. Can you guys see that? Okay.
Yep, I gotcha.
Okay, beautiful. So yeah, see if you're not right now, I'm on a test account, so those ads will pop up like every couple minutes. If you have the pro account, they won't pop up. So I'm on the XRP BTC pair because what I did this morning was I converted BTC into XRP. So we can get into that later, but it's kind of an indicator to show which one is stronger. Is XRP stronger? Is BTC stronger? So I traded out of my BTC that I had and I put it into XRP because I saw actually it was just after I put this Renko chart on here for this. And this is a really hard one to track. This is just like a VA trade almost with XRP BTC. Because what you're doing is you're saying, okay, which one is going to be stronger? Is it going to be XRP or BTC? If XRP is going to be stronger, then we should see a rise in XRP versus BTC. So, but you can't, unless you're doing something on a futures exchange where they're trading both XRP and BTC futures, I'm only using this because I'm in a cash position on both of these. And so what I do, I trade it out of my BTC and I bought XRP. So I'm long XRP. I'm not short BTC in the traditional sense like a futures market, but I'm out of that position and I went long XRP. Now, it doesn't guarantee that XRP is going to go up, all it means is relative to BTC, relative to BTC, it will maintain its value better.
It's stronger, so you used funds from Bitcoin to buy XRP.
Exactly. So I didn't have to put any new cash or fiat into the position. All I did was I took my BTC and converted it to XRP, which, if you use Coinbase, is free. There's no commission charges. They do charge, of course, you're going to get charged the spread. So whatever the spread is at that time on BTC, if you're selling BTC, you're going to get charged the spread, but there's no commission on exchanges. So you can go from BTC to XRP. And that's what I did this morning. And so we're just slightly above, and using the cloud, I could tell, here's kind of a clue that I was looking for in the Renko cloud, was it see these large blocks on the cloud? That indicates that there's still quite a bit of volatility in this pair between XRP and BTC. And so what I want to do is I want to wait until I see the cloud start to decline in the spread of the cloud between the high and the low of the cloud itself. And that gives me an indication that volatility is starting to decline, and XRP should start to rise at this point. So you have these big cloud blocks here, you got these big cloud blocks here. That's an indication of volatility, which means that XRP will probably decline against BTC. But now, for the past, since about August 11th, we've had a very nice narrow cloud here indicating, and now we've moved above the cloud, indicating that this probably XRP is at least going to maintain its value better relative to BTC. And as that continues to go higher, then I'm going to be in good shape here. So very, very interesting. And you can see actually in just the prices alone, XRP is up 0.61%. BTC is down 1% today. And so I actually saved and made some pretty good, decent money here as we see XRP BTC go up. But very exciting that we're going to translate a lot of the scripts over to TradingView. So all you guys outside the US now that don't have access to TOS are going to be able to get those and access the scripts, which is awesome. There's going to be a small upcharge for existing customers, but it's going to be minor. It's going to be relatively nominal. But everybody's got to get paid someplace. All right, I'm going to switch this back over to you. I think that's all I've got. I've got the VOLD, I've got the ADD, I've got the XRP. Oh, the XRP charts too. Don't forget, if you guys aren't watching the XRP charts, I'm going to pop that back over to you because I don't have the, I've only got the developer view on that.
Yeah, I'll show it, no problem. Share this guy back out. Yeah, I can't tell you how many people that we've had to work with over the years, right? In, Canada, Australia, so many Australians. I feel really bad for one of them that's a client that jumped through so many hoops to get access. And
I was trying to think of ways to help those guys. I'm thinking, well, but the big obstacle is you need a social security number in order to open an account. So that was the obstacle I couldn't help them with. I could get them an address here. I could get them a bank account here, but I couldn't get them a social security.
Yeah, if you can do that, you're going to be in the wrong business.
Yeah. So here's the XRP market barometer. So what we saw on the long-term index, XRP long-term accumulation index is very similar to the long-term index in the strong market signals. So a little bit, the important thing here is it's above zero. So July 3rd, we moved above the zero line, and that shows positive accumulation for XRP, and it's been steadily growing higher even as the price dropped, showing accumulation of XRP over time. If you scroll down, one of the interesting factors, that's the volatility. We can keep going down because digital assets are very volatile. That's why those levels are relatively high compared to other assets like in the financial markets. This one here is the percentage change over a 30-day rolling average. So what it does is it shows you the percentage change of the price on a 30-day rolling average, and you can see that it's been rising. It was down minus 1.41% near the bottom there, and then it's just continued to go higher. And that, to me, is an indication of a reduction in selling pressure. So we're kind of hoping for a little bit of a pop there. And then the price distribution curve, which is very similar to, it's a little different because it's only based on price, but instead of internal market data, because we don't have internal market data for digital assets yet. But this is the price distribution bell curve is very similar to the bell curve that we're using for the VA trade for, actually it's closer to the bell curve that we're using for the VA trade because we don't have internal market data. But over the last 24 days, that price distribution bell curve has been positive. 19 of those 24 days. So we're kind of hoping that we're going to get a little pop as well. Andre asks, is there a way to go easy from XRP to fiat, i.e. the euro, when traveling to Europe, for example?
Coinbase Pro is probably your best bet, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not sure exactly what your question. Could you clarify that just a little bit? Are you thinking of translating, going from XRP to Euro? You can go from XRP to almost 100 different
fiat
pairs, in the world, which is not an issue on almost any exchange. But are you thinking about using it like in a debit card kind of situation where you want to spend it going from XRP to Euro? Is that what you mean, Andre?
Lost my chat. There.
Yeah, to travel instead of carrying cash or gold, I spend it. Yeah, there is a. See, I'm not. If you're in the U.S., you get really kind of screwed. Europe was way far ahead of the U.S. when it comes to these things. I'm trying to think of. There is a debit card that you can get that you can load cryptocurrency of almost any kind, XRP, BTC, Ethereum. And then when you use it just like a regular debit card and you can spend it anywhere, and it converts your cryptocurrency that you load onto it into whatever the local currency is.
MCO Visa, Crypto.com talks about one. Or Nexo. Nexo's a big one.
Nexo has a debit card?
Yes.
Okay. Nexo is a big player in this space. If you can do Nexo.
They're launching one with MasterCard at least. That was announced.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good to go. Good to know. Yeah, absolutely. So that's nexo.io. And if you're eligible for it, there's two really horrible things that living in New York brings to me. And that is, I am limited to the number of different cryptos that I can actually buy. On Coinbase Pro, I can only buy BTC, XRP, Ethereum, Litecoin, and DAI, which is a stable coin. I can't buy anything else. When Binance US comes, and they should be opening up pretty soon, I'd say within the next couple of weeks, they are going to be open to New York residents, thank God. Then I'm going to be able to buy other digital assets. I'm not sure what digital assets I will buy, but
you want to be able to have the choice, right?
But at least I got the choice. Yeah, exactly. Greg says, so TradingView works on all markets, real-time data pro for $15 a month. Yep, that's exactly right, Greg. I love TradingView. And also on TradingView, you can actually connect your, if you have there's only a couple brokers that do this right now, but you can connect to, let's see, I just messed that up. I had it connected to Oanda, which is which I was trading currency pairs. And it's an API that's built in right into the TradingView platform. And actually, if you look at the symbol, the logo for TradingView, you'll see it on Bitstamp. You'll see it on, I believe it's the same. Yeah, it's on Bitstamp right now. But it's a limited version of TradingView, so they must be licensing it to Bitstamp.
Yeah, they're using it under the covers, right? That's why I've seen it many places already, like you say.
Yeah, but you can go to their trading panel, and you can connect your brokerage account through CQG, AMP, Oanda, Forex.com, Poloniex, if you use Poloniex, TradeStation. Oh, they just added TradeStation. So if you have a TradeStation account, you can connect it directly to TradingView and trade directly. And they've added TradeOvite. I didn't even see that.
New every day.
They are connected to TradOvite now. Awesome. iBroker and Saxo Group. Those are the brokers, and they only show brokers available for your region. So if you don't see the ones that I just shouted out, they're not available in your region then. But I don't. I mean, Bitstamp has the charting package, but they don't have all the bells and whistles. You have to go to TradingView for all the bells and whistles. Awesome news. Awesome.
Yeah, Greg, exactly. $15 a month. You are understanding that exactly correct, where you can see real live data.
Yep.
And that, yeah, Canada relatives, you got it.
Yep. Now everybody in the world can use it. Absolutely. Yes, and TradeStation, they allow access simulation account. Yep. Oh, cool. Oh, that's pretty cool too. Beautiful. Oh, thanks for that link there, Greg. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into the spreadsheets here. We got a few minutes left, so we can get into that because there's a couple things I really want to talk about. But I'll let you get started on that because I am running out of breath.
Running out of vocal juice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we obviously went from version 1 to version 2, I don't know, a month or so ago, whatever it was. I have been updating, apparently, yeah, this version is updated, okay. So what I did actually yesterday, or was it Monday? I forget, the days blend together, is I'm going to be updating these on the weekly website. So you will get version 1 and version 2, just because I see there is still some value while we are still leveraging like the 5th column in the charts. And being able to correlate that to the spreadsheet as well helps some people. So I went back and continued to update version 1, but I did get a few questions, and we were looking for, we'll probably add this little snippet to the VA package so people have it in that course. But just the differences from version 1 to version 2 and how we've expanded the binary trend out to include more things and how we look at the cumulative versus the cross-column bell curve, since then we went from 1 bell curve to 2 bell curves. And just how we want to look at that and how we use that in our daily setting of the bias. So as we know, 0 to 0, so we can compare, we're taking more weight on the version 2, but I like to see the the 5th column. And I could expand this out, I suppose, might just be the easiest way.
Yeah, I did that on my spreadsheet. I expanded it out, and then I only put in the 8th column. I found the 8th column to be the most useful.
Gotcha. So maybe I'll just do that live right here with you. So what we're talking about is,
just hide the 9th and 10th, and just keep the 8th in there, because I think it's pretty useful.
And what have you seen? And I suppose I could look at this historically as well, but is it similar to the 5th where it was 2% and above was a good signal, or is it a different number now?
Well, what I did was I used that. It's about a 2%, I think, is a big move. But what I'm seeing is that a combination of, if I read it across, I'm looking at a peak in the 8th column along with the bell curves to see if there's some correlation there, and also to see if it's going to start to turn on me. So I want to see the 8th column, because that's where we found most of the peaks are starting to happen rather than the 5th, now that we've expanded this out. If you go to 1171 or 1172, you got a peak at minus 1.66 on the negative side. You had a UD percent at minus 8%. a bell curve at -7%. And so we're just, at that point, we're just kind of saying, okay, well, maybe we're going to get a little bit of a bounce here in the spread. And so if you follow it all the way over to the VA, you had 2 pluses, 2 minuses, 2 plus minus, 2 plus minus 2 days in a row. Another kind of an indication that, hey, maybe we're going to go positive here. So if you stretch it out to the eighth column, I would say anything between 1.5% and 2% is probably about where you're going to see a change in trend.
Very similar to how we started marking what we call like an intermediate peak on the other one, where 1.5 was a signal on some of them. Absolutely. Yep. Okay, that makes sense.
Exactly.
Help people. So how do we help them when they're identifying, okay, we got a potential peak here, we're at 8%, we're creeping up on 10, peak here. When the cross column's at a 0 now and going down, how do they determine that?
Well, you remember your indication on that line is you had the binary trend there across the entire section is nothing but zeros. And typically that is also an indication of a peak in the negative trend. I think you identified like 2 in a row was probably a pretty good indication, remember, of 2. Yeah, 2 of those.
I went back and marked out whenever we had 2 in a row, whether it's either the positive or the negative, in addition to a peak and a signal here. Let me spin it just a little bit more. That was the magic sauce, was we get a swing signal up or down paired with 2 days in a row of full boards. That was definitely a big signal for a switch to the other way. And you see the next 2 days here were 1.2% move. So that's a nice swing signal in addition to confirmation right here. Same thing goes for the other way around. When they're positive, we get the swing signal down here, 0.88, so 1% move in 3 days. So whenever 1, 2, 3 days, however long you want to hold, that's how those swing signals are working.
And if you look at the swing signal down and swing signal up columns, and you click on that, you'll see that the algorithm is up in the bar there, and so it's all automated. So you don't even have to think about it. When you do get a signal like that, that is actually replacing the column on the other. What is that? On the other side. What's that?
Which column are you looking at?
The swing signal up and swing signal down replaces on the original spreadsheet the what was the name of that column? The trigger.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So now this is completely automated. So what happens is on the new spreadsheet, you don't even have to think about it, because we've included all of the important data points for the up and down signal in there. We haven't had one in a while, but it just means that is the current trend. So the last signal that you got, which was up, was at 0.392, and it went up all the way up to 3.417 on the 15th, which is a good signal. So, and that's all automated now. So those swing signals are automated.
So the old secondaries turned into that. Good call.
Yeah. Other than that, I think that I'm really, really liking it. It allowed us to call the current upswing in the VA spread from yesterday to today. Really, really liking that a lot.
Maybe we'll see as Andrew's converting things. Maybe we can make a new 8th column script or something we can look into in the future. I know he's got a lot on his plate now, but just one for my notebook here to add on to potential later.
Oh, yeah, that would be absolutely fantastic. Absolutely. Well, Andrew is an absolute genius, so I'm pretty sure that if we throw him something, he will figure it out.
The last part I wanted to show in conjunction with that, let me find it, was you guys have seen it before. It's nothing new. Is just the charts that go along with it that we did for swings. And that's the problem with having a bunch of charts, is you lose track of some of them every once in a while.
Eric, Eric says that I'm going to show Dan a visual signal that you can easily plot on a chart. Love to see that.
Yes, I was going to plug you on that, Eric. I was going to put you on the spot today, but yeah, Eric has identified some things for the VA, and a formula that he's got that's yet to be built that has been working in conjunction that signaled him when to get in and out of some optimum time frames. So look
Nice.
for that in the future.
Ooh, Eric, I didn't know you did any pattern recognition. It's cool.
Yeah, he called one yesterday. He was showing me that I definitely nailed this one as well.
Beautiful.
So I'm looking forward to hearing about that, Eric.
Yeah, me too.
I appreciate the sharing.
Absolutely. We always appreciate you guys when I mean, you know, we can stand up here and pontificate and stuff like that, but we really, really depend on your guys' input, ideas, and feedback in order to improve these systems. And I mean, we've gone. I mean, God. I mean, just think about Dan. Remember last September when you first took the VA, and you were like one of my first private clients, and how far we've come.
Oh,
really.
It's so funny. I think I actually saw a video that I recorded when I was sending them to you, and all I had was the supply and demand and a 4-hour chart.
Yeah.
So I was looking at was this chart when the morning opened. I was waiting for it to go up. I wasn't even looking at 1 in 5 minutes. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we've come a long, long way, and it's because of you guys. You guys have given us feedback. You've kind of pointed out things that we can't really see sometimes because we're so focused on certain things, and so we really appreciate your feedback. And man, it's been awesome for everybody. So everybody benefits. We share everything that we have.
And then the last thing that we're putting together that we mentioned once is we have our outlines coming out, if we wanted to mention that too or not. We just don't know what day it's going to be released yet or when we're going to do the first session.
Yes, we have an outline for Trading 101, and we're going to do real basic stuff. So I know a lot of you guys are already advanced. Some of you guys might be intermediate traders, and some of you guys are certainly advanced by many standards. But we're also going to be coming out with a Trading 101. So if you guys, anybody who's like at a very, very basic level, who's just getting started, if you want to bring up, I don't know if you have that outline, some of the topics that we're going to cover in this Trading 101 course. And it might even be good for some of you guys who have been in the markets for a while as a refresher, just to kind of get an idea of what, kind of a, back to basics kind of a course, but it's definitely geared towards newbies, somebody who's very, very new to the markets, especially with futures contracts. I know that before I started getting into futures contracts, they seemed a little scary to me, like, oh man, I could lose a lot of money in futures and stuff like that. But with the tools that we developed, we've really mitigated the risk as much as possible. So here's the basic outline that Dan and I have put together. Some real basic stuff like what is a derivative, what is a futures contract, how are futures different than options, stocks, ETFs, etc. What's leverage, why leverage can help and hurt you, what is volatility, why volatility is important to traders, what is price discovery, which is a really, really important topic. What makes a market? I mean, even some of you guys may not know what makes a market. Who trades futures? Who are you against? Who are the other players in this market that are going to affect your profitability? Who are you trading against? How to trade futures step by step, mechanics of it really, how futures are settled. Not all futures are settled the same way, why futures have expiration dates, what are trading months, and I could probably include why futures have expiration dates and contango, which is something that's kind of important for future traders to know. And what happens when you don't close or roll over a futures contract and you're still in it after it expires.
Especially if it's a soybean.
Yeah. Well, if you're in soybeans, you get a truckload at your house.
I remember talking to a guy that used to trade like beef. It's like, yeah, make sure you close that beef contract so you don't want a cow showing up at your house.
Yeah.
Because they will.
Yeah, and the expiration dates and the settlement dates and the rollover dates for treasury futures are different than the financial futures and the commodity markets. So you have to be really careful and watch those too, because if you're long a treasury futures contract and you miss the rollover date, well, your name gets put into the exchange to have a the $100,000 bond or whatever it is that you trade on $500, $1,000 worth of margin, but you're going to get it delivered $100,000 bond. So you have to be careful about those things, and and we're going to go over all that stuff in this Trading 101 course. Yes, Greg, thanks for the reminder. Absolutely. Speaking of futures rollover, it's this Thursday. We're going from U to Z. Now, if you're on POS, you can just put in the YM like Dan has, and it'll automatically roll over. But it won't roll you over. You're still in the U contract until Thursday. So the start of the rollover is Thursday. The actual expiration is not until the 20th for the financial futures, contracts. But the rollover starts on Thursday. And so what happens during the rollover is that the volume that was in the current contract starts to diminish, starts to decline, and more traders start to get into the new contract for December expiration, which is Z in the contract. And but I typically don't actually start trading the new contracts until Monday, the week of expiration. There's still quite a bit of volume in that Thursday and Friday session in the old contract, but then Monday, for myself, I make sure that I start trading the new contract.
Yeah, I've seen the same thing where it's, you have kind of a week. It's not like if you miss it by a day or two, you're going to get in trouble.
Right. Absolutely.
Nothing bad will happen to you.
Yep. Andrew says also something that about recognizing market phases, accumulation, distribution, consolidation. Yeah, absolutely.
That might be a cool one. We'll see.
Yep, those are very important. And if you want to come up with an indicator for that, Andrew, just let me know. That'd be awesome. Second Thursday of the month for rollover, rule of thumb. Absolutely. Yeah, you don't want to wait till expiration, especially the day of expiration, because what will happen is the actual futures contracts expires at an odd hour during the day. Typically with a futures contract, you're cash settled anyway, so they'll just cash out, but they do charge you a fee for that.
And they don't give you the right. It's not a fair price because guess what? You're at their mercy.
Yes. Yes, exactly. So it looks like we're seeing some additional weakness coming back into the markets here. One of the other things I wanted to bring up real quick is if you go back to the new spreadsheet and go down to the trend tab, which is the one I texted you about. I don't know if you had a chance to update that.
I haven't played with my zeros yet, but
okay, yeah, and you have to kind of change the right margin there, I think, or the left margin.
I got to tweak her out.
But
where's my?
You can switch over to me if you want. If it might take you a while.
Yeah, my brain's not in Excel mode.
Yeah, I know. You have to be that way sometimes, I guess.
While you're switching, Eric asked about different spreadsheets. I haven't done them recently, Eric, because I don't know how many people are actually trading those other ones. But it is just a matter of popping in the latest numbers. If you do need it or you feel it's of value, I might, continue that again. I think they're updated through August sometime. They are on the downloads page. Okay,
so if you're on the regular grid, you go over to the trend tab, and let's see what the last line was, 1186. I'm pretty sure I'm updated. You have to click on the chart and then go over to chart design to update the, at least on my version of
Mac versus Windows.
Yes, exactly. Just type in 1186. What I wanted to kind of point out here was kind of an interesting phenomenon. As you know, this goes back to goes back quite far, all the way back to 2015. I'm not sure if I have this chart back to 2015, but I think it's pretty close because we're at 1177 here. So I think we are. Since 2015, the Dow NDX ratio trend has been lower. We've had pretty strong rallies from occasion to occasion here. But for the most part, you're going from a high of around 425, right around 4.235, down to looks like a low of 3.378. Well, right now you're looking at it looks like a great deal of support right under 3.40 on the spread between the Dow and the NDX. And this is the cash ratio between the Dow and the NDX. But you can see how many times it's come down just below that 3.4 area, and it's bounced nearly every single time. This bounce was relatively weak, and we came back down to it. What I'm looking at, and the reason I bring this up, is that during this entire time period, from 2015 to the present, we've had an uptrend in the market, and we haven't finished. I've got a column here where I'm looking at the inverse of the difference between the Dow and the NDX. So if they're both up, if the Dow is up and the NDX is up, how many times does the VA spread go positive or negative? Here we had two positives and the VA spread was negative. Two positives, the VA spread was negative. So I'm keeping track of the inverse of the changes in the Dow and the NDX. So if they're both up on a day, typically the VA spread is going to be negative, like it is here, generally. So my theory is this, that we have been in an uptrend in the market and the spread has declined. But we're seeing a lot of support around this 3.4 level. If the market is going to go into a declining phase, so I'm using the VA spread as a predictor of the general market, in other words, because when we have negative Dow, negative NDX, we typically get a positive VA spread. And so if we start to see a positive VA spread, it could be a predictor of the general market going down in a significant way. Just like we've seen the spread decline as the general, the Dow and the NDX have risen over the past 5 years now. And so I'm wondering if, this kind of basing action that we're seeing in the spread is going to give us an indication that the general market is going to decline, or it's going to break down through this support level. But the only thing is that every time we've made a new low in the spread, we've continued to break that and go into new lows and new lows and new lows and new lows until we get a little bit of a rally. But then we ended up making another new low, rally, another new low, rally, another new low, rally, another new low. But now, really from, this is on 878. Let's see when that was.
That's got to be 2018, I bet.
$878 is right here, and that is June of 2018. And you guys know what happened. Basically, it was kind of the beginning of a pretty large decline going all the way from about then into the Christmas time of 2018 in December. We had a pretty good sell-off right up to that point. Right, yep, December 24th. That was the bottom of that decline, but we had a fairly good decline at that point. And so I'm wondering And that's the rally we saw after, or that's the decline going right into December 24th. And then, of course, we rallied and the spread declined. So I just want to bring that to your attention to see if this is, keep an eye on this, see if this is going to hold or not. If it doesn't hold, we'll probably go into another large rally in the markets to new highs. If it does hold and the spread starts to move up sharply again, it'll be interesting to see if we do get some sort of a decline, more severe decline in the markets. Let's see. Will a new version of the spreadsheet for ESRTY be published? We can do that. Haven't gotten around to it, but
that's the one I was talking about. If they're through August sometime, but yeah, Eric, if I just have to do some numbers crunching, or if anybody can just drop in the new numbers. But yeah, if there's some value in there, I can look at popping up a new one, or maybe I'll do them once a month or something. And yeah, Andre, are you not seeing the links above that Greg posted for the?
Yeah, Greg, there's a link right there, Andre. It's also posted above by Greg. So.
Right on. I can share one more time, but we're pretty much at a wrap for today.
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. It was just something that I observed. I think we can use it as maybe a very, very a general predictor of maybe market trends. If we do see a sharp rise in the VA spread, we may see a decline in the general market. So hopefully that was helpful for you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, gentlemen, appreciate you guys coming out. We're a few minutes over our regular time, so we'll probably wrap it up for today. If you got any questions in the meantime, you know how to get a hold of me. We'll bring it on the next one and look forward to the future release of Trading 101. You're welcome, Sean. Good to see you. Thanks, Glenn.
Greg, yes, that's correct. Tick chart 500 for the minis, 250 for the micros. That's right. That's what I'm using currently. Yep.
You're welcome, Voltaire.
Voltaire, thank you very much, Glenn. Good to see you. Greg, awesome. Eric. All right, guys. Thanks. Eric, I'm looking forward to what you're going to share with us. Appreciate it.
I just saw your email, Eric, so I got a little teaser, so I like it. And we'll share when we got the full boat.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great day. See you, Andrew.
Take care, everybody.
Bye, Dan.
See you.